Attention all stations. Good evening everyone and welcome. Bonsoir tout le monde et bienvenue. This is Victor Alpha 3 Charlie Juliet Zulu, putting the Amateur Radio Exchange Group net for Wednesday, November 20th, 2024. My name is Chuck and my station is located in East Hamilton, Ontario. This net is on every Wednesday night starting at 8 p.m. and ending around 10 p.m. local time here on 146.430. And since this is a Simplex net, not everyone will be able to hear everyone else. So I also stream the net on YouTube so people who tune in can hear stations that they cannot hear on their radio, hear how their audio sounds on the air, and see their signal strength as well as see my station layout. So just type my call into the YouTube search box, again, VA3CJZ, and you can look for us live, or tonight we'll have the title AREG Week 1627. And finally, I ask that you please leave a 1 second delay, at least a 1 second delay between transmissions to allow others to break in should they need to. And with that, do we have any time sensitive or mobile stations that would like to check in? Please come now.
Victor Echo 3, Foxtrot Juliet.
All right, VE3FJJ. Flynn, come on in. I haven't heard you in a while. How's things?
Oh, not too bad there, Chuck. Thank you for acknowledging me. I will be here. I'm just time sensitive right at this present moment, but if you want to give me a call back in a little bit, I will be here. I just thought I'd throw a bean in the pot, but I will be here. How do I sound tonight anyways?
You're good and loud. Nice strong signal over here. I haven't looked at the meter. Bring it back.
Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4.
Oh, yeah, you're full strength over here, Flynn, at the Center Mall.
All right, well, this little rinky-dink radio is actually working, so. All right, Chuck, I'll let you get back to it. Definitely give me a call back there when you do your rounds.
All right, will do then. Thanks for checking in, Flynn. We'll talk to you later. All right, let's open up the net to anyone and everyone with a valid license. This is VA3 CJZ. Please come now.
VA3 AXJ.
VA3 OYL.
VA3 IMW.
VA3 MCA.
All right, kind of got bushwhacked there at the beginning. Didn't expect that many. All right, so I have AXJ, OYL, IMW, and NCA. Anyone else? All right, let's bring in Rick, VA3 AXJ. Rick, come on in.
No, you'll take Debbie first. She's a woman, and I'm a man. So I'll take number 2 spot.
All right, very good, young man. Thank you very much. Let's bring in Debbie, Victor Alpha 3, Oscar Yankee Lima.
Well, thank you, young man. Good evening to everybody. I'm glad I took the dogs for their nightly walk. When I did, I missed the rain, so it was raining pretty good here. I think it slowed down a little bit. I hope it stops before the last pee-pee of the night.
Yeah, it was coming down pretty good there a little while ago. And it's just a light, well, it's rainy, but just not as hard as it was earlier. So she's a wet one. It's par for the course around this time. It helps bring down the rest of the leaves off the trees.
Yes, I'm amazed at how many leaves are still on the trees. I'm gonna have to do another raking once they all come down. A second raking.
Yes, I know my shed needs a raking. Uh, that's how I get the leaves off the roof of the shed. Get the rake up there, and then I get a brush. And oh yeah, uh, uh, I don't pick up anything in the backyard. I just leave it and deal with it in the spring, whatever's left over. And I've got some branches I wanted to trim at my backyard fence because this year I noticed these weed trees, as I've heard them being called, they're almost like big, huge, thick vines, and they're hard to get rid of. And so every time I trim the branches back, of course, they keep on coming, and so I just got to continue chopping them off with the lobber. So, anyways, other than that, any radio work, Debbie?
I was. I tried to do some FT8, but propagation wasn't very good. I forget what day that was. But I put Christmas lights up on a tree in the front, an evergreen tree, and it's grown like 5 feet. So I couldn't reach the top. So the lights start a little ways down. So I'll either have to fix that up before Christmas or just leave it.
Yeah, I know what you mean, eh? We have a Christmas tree, pine tree there out at my neighbor's front yard. And when we first moved in, I could see through it, and now I can't. And sometimes, we alternate parking over here on this side of the street for a while, and then the other side. And now I can't see it. Well, my camera can't see through it. So yeah, it's. I looked actually on Google Earth and was looking at my place, of course, and noticed the tree, how young it was when we first moved in, and it's grown quite a bit.
Yeah, it was a crazy growing season, that's for sure. So I'm on the Yaesu 991. I decided to hook it up again and see what's going on, make sure it still works. I kind of put it aside for a little while because I was using the Kenwood for a while, but so I'm happy I got it's all working good. Hopefully it sounds good on your end.
Oh yes, absolutely, sounds beautiful, and I think you're full strength over here, Debbie, and uh, yeah, nice clean sound.
Excellent. The room I'm in is a little echoey, but there's no carpets down because of the new dog. Anyway, I will let you carry on. You had quite the list there at the beginning, and I'll be listening along.
Okay, Debbie, very good. Thank you so much for checking in and sharing how fast your evergreen is growing. All right, let's go. Let's go back to Rick, VA3 AXJ.
Yeah, good evening, Chuck. Everything's good here. Everything's done with. We had a celebration of life on Sunday. It went excellent. I only stayed about an hour and then we took off. But other than that, everybody's back pretty well to normal. Got my needles yesterday. Feel good today. Got a busy day tomorrow. I'm not going to overdo it though. Believe me. I don't want to get back in pain again. Other than that, I'll be up for a bit. I don't know how long, but if I decide to hang it up, I'll break in. So yeah, continue.
Okay, Rick, very good. I'm glad the celebration of life went well. And now, it's part of the process. So life goes on. So, and other than that, yeah, got your needles, feeling good. So I understand if you might feel the need to go horizontal there. It usually takes a day or two to work itself in. Okay, Rick, thank you. You're sounding good tonight as well. Nice full strength signal over here. All right, next on my list is who is it? It's Mac, Victor Alpha 3, India Mike Whiskey. Mac, come on in.
That's me. It's Victor Alpha 3. And good evening, Chuck. Good to hear Rick and Deb on there as well. And hello to Wade, who has also trapped another unwitting individual into signing himself up for a lifelong addiction to radio. Anyways, let's see. I missed Chris's net. I was poking around on HF. The clock just didn't catch my eye, so hopefully he did all right with the Burlington Amateur Group at 7:30. Anyways, yeah, just glad to hear everybody on the air and active. Nothing really to share other than the dastardly fog. Oh my goodness, a little bit perilous, but I got up the hill and down the hill unscathed. And I'm here for the duration there, Chuck. I'll turn it back to you.
Okay, very good there, Mac. So everybody's full strength tonight. A great signal from everyone. And yeah, I don't know. I didn't really check on the bands today, or even I didn't turn the radio on till later this afternoon, and just when I was getting all everything ready. And so I don't know what the band conditions are, but I'm sure there aren't many people doing POTA in these neck of the woods, anyways.
Oh, absolutely. I've run into a few guys that are poking around on HF. Obviously, Tom and Albert are doing their usual thing. And while I was spinning the dial, I managed to make a couple of contacts in Angola. And that's not the suburb of New York State. That's the west coast of Africa, way down south there.
Oh, very good, very good. Things must be opening up there because I just got that island off of Chile, which is in the southernmost part of South America, and then another, St. Helena, I got, which is in the South Atlantic, closer to Africa than South America. So, yeah, a lot of stations in African countries are popping up.
Yeah, and I guess there was another couple of guys in Japan and one particular individual in China that poked their heads out of the weeds there. So it was good to make some contacts. Anyways, what Pierre says, get them in the log and move them along.
Yeah, absolutely. Just think, we're actually more south than all of the northern states. The North Dakota, and so on, all the way down to Washington. We're actually more south than they are. So I'll bet you some of those places. Oh, they're talking for some snow moving this way. I know. And then a cyclone bomb supposed to hit Vancouver. And so, whatever they get, it usually takes the better part of it to get here, but it comes here because it has to follow the jet stream, right?
It does indeed, but I guess it really depends on how far the jet stream goes south into the States, as far as what effect it has on us here in the, what do you call that, the Cinderella zone? No, Goldilocks zone. Not too hot, not too cold, and thank goodness for Lake Ontario, because it splits the weather and saves us from the dastardly things that hit the north of Toronto and blast Buffalo. So we're just right where it should be. Yeah, me and the three bears will stick right here in southern Ontario, hugging the lake. But yes, I heard about the cyclone bomb that was supposed to hit Vancouver, and I hear things from people that work, have relatives out there, and yeah, they're saying that they're ready to shut things down because they virtually have no snow removal equipment, because they just, they live in luxury out there, and snow never bothers them. You go further north up to Whistler and so on, and they're ready for anything. But yeah, down in Vancouver and those areas, they're usually just like, maybe they'll see a -2 degree temperature once in a while, but other than that, they're balmy in the +4, +8 degrees throughout the wintertime. The one that surprised me was the Snowmageddon that they're getting in the UK, and there's a group of people that are not ready for Canadian type weather.
Yeah, I only heard a little bit about it. I haven't really looked into it. They were expecting a wallop, and the Philippines, I guess, is the monsoon season, because they got a whole whack of water, and yeah, summers are getting hotter for the UK, I noticed, and much of Europe. A lot of those places don't have air conditioning. They rely on the ocean breezes, as most of the world's population live along a coastline or fairly close to it. But yeah, Europe's been getting pretty warm. Anyhow, Mac, thank you so much for all that, and let's see if we can pick up Wade. And first, I'll ask you, what else you got for us?
Well, I'll get busy in making up some other stuff, so I can share that with you on the next round. But I heard Wade breaking in one of the new recruits, so hopefully he can share some of the adventures of trapping some additional ham radios into the obsession. Anyways, thanks again, Chuck. I am here for the duration.
All right, sounds good, Mac. So let's pick up VA3 NCA. Wade, come on in.
VA3 CJZ, VA3 NCA. Yeah, good evening, Chuck, and good evening, everybody on net. Yeah, it was a good ham day. Didn't do anything on the air, but did run a test for somebody I met through one of the many Discords around. It's primarily a U.S. Discord, but this guy was a Canadian, hanging out there like I do, and he wanted to get licensed. So we got on a Jitsi, which is kind of like a Zoom, but it's a different platform, and did a remote session this afternoon. I managed to get some time with him before his night classes. He's a young guy from BC, so near the Surrey area, going to school. So he was looking to get licensed, and he's now Victor Alpha 7 Echo Charlie X-Ray. So yeah, I guess he won't be technically official until it hits the ISED database overnight, but once you're registered with a pass, then you get to pick your call sign. So you know what it is before you can use it, which I think is a special type of cruelty, but at least he doesn't have to wait too long. He'll probably show up in the database tomorrow. So, and yeah, a few of you guys heard me on ZOE. I was trying to explain to him a repeater book and taking a look for some local repeaters in his area. And so I keyed up ZOE to introduce him to the Hamilton crew at least. And a few people came back and welcomed him to the hobby. So that was a nice welcome for him. Anyways, yeah, a good day, all in all. So, yeah, back to you there, Chuck. Thanks for picking me up, VA3NCA.
Okay, Wade. Well, first of all, is he in Surrey or he's here?
He is just outside of Surrey, BC, in a place called Delta, a small city just near Surrey. So we did this remote over the internet.
Ah, okay. Very good. Very good. Right on. I lived in Surrey one winter, and that's when they were building the SkyTrain over in that area, and the workers were on strike. But I did get to ride the SkyTrain because it wasn't completely shut down. I did ride a portion of it, and wouldn't you know it, a fight broke out, and yeah, all hell broke loose, and of course the police meet you at the next stop. But yeah, a lot can happen during that time. It takes about 5 minutes to get to a stop. It travels quite a big distance, that SkyTrain there. So, but anyways, yeah, it's a pretty neat mode of transportation there.
Yeah, I can't say I've ever been, well, I've been to BC, but I've never been to Surrey. Yeah, those sky trains, I haven't seen that one, but I've seen the elevated trains in Chicago and that. Pretty neat. But yeah, I wouldn't want to be stuck on one when a fight broke out. That's for sure. If you were in Surrey, then you were just to the east of Delta. Then maybe you're familiar with Delta, but that's where this young guy was from. Yeah, he signed up. I have to clarify that my authorization allowed for out-of-province exams because it says something that's unclear on my authorization letter. But got confirmation from Amy that I said today that, well, yesterday I guess I got the confirmation that the statement about Ontario is just for in-persons. I can apparently do remotes anywhere across Canada so long as the candidate and myself are on Canadian soil at the time. So that's the criteria. So once that was settled, then then we got on. We arranged for a Zoom session and got it done. Actually, the first step is on this Discord. There are a few other VEs I know from across, so we tried to find somebody in BC for him, just so he had a local he could talk to a little bit easier. But when that fell through, we said, well, let's not delay any further. Let's get it done. So we took care of it this afternoon. Yeah, so it's a good time. Anyways, send it back to you there, Chuck. Actually, if anybody else is on your YouTube stream listening and they're in Canada and they're looking to get their license, find me on QRZ and we'll figure something out. Anyways, with that advertisement there, Chuck, I'll send it back to you, VA3NCA, back to Net Control.
Okay, very good, Wade. Well, congratulations. I forgot if it was a VA or VE. 3 Echo Charlie X-ray, is it?
Victor Alpha 7 Echo Charlie X-ray. The name is Ethan.
Okay, right. BC VA7. Okay, very good. All right, thanks, Wade. Well, I see now on Facebook that a few people have checked in and said hello in the chat room, and of course you were in there, and Noel VE3KDT is in there. Wayne B from Mississauga VA3FMB, and we have Brian who was here last week saying he was going to do his test the following Thursday, and he's passed, and now his call sign is VE3 X-Ray Bravo Whiskey, VE3 XBW. Congratulations, Brian. Let us know how the test went and how excited you were. So congratulations, welcome to the hobby, and you're going to have to start spending money on radios now. Very good. All right, so congratulations, everyone. Let's see who else is out there who would like to check into our net. This is VA3 CJZ. Please come now.
Victor Alpha 3, Bravo Tango. November Foxtrot Golf.
Victor Echo 3, Charlie Echo Uniform.
All right, I heard 3 stations in there: Bravo Tango, November Fox Golf, and Charlie Echo Uniform. I think Steve is portable mobile, so we'll bring him in first. Victor Alpha 3, November Foxtrot Golf.
Everybody listening, we're just taking it easy there, Chuck. Watching a little bit of TV and listening to the net here. Surprised my buddy Mark isn't signed into the YouTube stream there. He probably has class. It's the last class of the
course?
Of the ninth final class, so we're looking forward to hearing from him soon after he writes his exam. Anyway, Chuck.
All right, Steve, that's a pretty rough copy. I don't know if you're on low power, but you're definitely moving while you're transmitting. And as you know, if you're using a handy talkie, you should remain still so your signal does not fluctuate. And so it was kind of rough. I thought you were in your mobile coming back from work, so I was mistaken. You're at home lounging in the Easy Boy chair. All right, Steve. Thanks anyways for your check-in, my friend. Much appreciated. Anything else?
Nope. I'm in the same spot, except I'm standing up. I don't know what kind of difference that makes. Chuck, thanks again, buddy. We'll be sticking around. VA3 Energy.
All right. Much better copy when you stand up, and if you don't move while transmitting, it's even better. Thanks again, Steve. Let's jump over to Albert. VA3 Bravo Tango. Albert, come on in.
Hey, VA3BT. Yeah, just a general check-in there, Chuck. Yeah, I was getting Steve anywhere. He's fluctuating. He's up and down from 2 to 4 to 5, then back down. He's kind of all over the map there. But I got everything, like, no problem. Other than that, just a general check-in. See, we got lots of rain coming down, but hey, it's what it is. Well, I end it back over to you there, Chuck, VA3BT.
Yeah, very good there, Albert. Yeah, me too there. It was, like I said, pretty rough. He was falling into my squelch and then back out again. So, but we got it. So it looks like it's petering off here for the rain. Still a little bit coming down now. It's mostly drizzle rain, I guess you could call it, by the looks of what I see on my camera. But she was coming down pretty good a while ago. I think we had a big cell that passed through. I don't know if that's it for us, but we'll take it as she comes. And does that affect work? I forgot to ask. Are you indoors?
Yeah, actually, I got real lucky this year. I'm going to be indoors. We got a lot of tenant fit-out work that we're doing. Actually, we're building, well, I'm sure you guys heard about it. It's called pickleball courts and padel. I call it paddle, but they call it padel. Anyways, we're building 15 or 20 courts. And we're putting a yoga class, a gym class, a cafeteria, well, you know, new showers and like ice baths, steam rooms, saunas. Oh yeah, they're going all out with this place.
All right. You should tell them to give you a free membership once it's completed. Say, hey, I built this place.
Yeah, I am. I've already been hinting to them. It seems like a lot of fun. Pickleball is smaller courts. You know what? I'm going to be honest. I didn't know such a thing until this came up, this job, and I'm like, pickleball. What the heck is that? Do you play with pickles? Like, what's going on? And same with padel. I didn't even know what that was. To me, it's all tennis. But it's not. It's similar, but not.
Oh, is it like ping-pong rackets?
They're a different type of racket. Your best bet is just to Google it, Chuck. Google pickleball and pickleball brackets. They're funny looking. They're like almost like a foam with holes in it. It's weird.
Okay, will do. That's hilarious. Yeah, I've heard of it, but I've never seen anybody play it. I don't think, or maybe I did and I just didn't know. Right on, very good. So yeah, if you can get a membership, why not?
Yeah, no, for sure. Yeah, the good thing is I'll be indoors for the winter, so that's good. That's some good news. We're not really starting any new buildings, any new foundations during the wintertime like we usually do. So yeah, just doing a lot of interior fit outs, which is fine with me.
Yeah, absolutely. That's beautiful. Okay, Albert. Well, thanks for stopping by and checking in, my friend. Much appreciated.
Yes, sir. We'll be here listening for the duration. We'll let you move along and hopefully pick up 1 million chickens. Back over to you there, Chuck. VA3BT.
All right, thank you, Albert. Let's go over to Burlington and say hello to Tomas. VE3 Charlie Echo uniform.
VE3CJZ, VE3CU. Good evening, Chuck, and everybody else on the net here. Yeah, I'm just sitting here listening along, and yeah, the rain has tapered off. Boy, it was really coming down there for a bit. At least we don't have to worry about anything outside. So, yeah, not too much new at this end, and yeah, just still working away. And yeah, every once in a while I get this radio out, and I gotta start playing around more and more with the radio now that the winter's coming up. No more cycling and that. So yeah. Other than that, how are you doing?
Doing much better actually. I hurt my foot a couple of weeks ago. I did something I shouldn't have when I was on a step ladder, and of course the ladder fell over and landed on one leg and bruised my foot. And I'm at about 90% able to put most of my weight on there, and which is good because now I can, do stuff around the house more easily. Hobbling around on one leg and using the other wounded leg as kind of a crutch there, hopping around was no fun. So I'm glad that was not a trip to the hospital. I hate it.
Yeah, that's the last thing you want to do is make a trip to the hospital. But yeah, I remember hearing you mentioning that last week there, and you're getting better. That's good. That's good to hear. So yeah, I'm getting you just about full scale here, Chuck. I'm getting most everybody here, not everybody, but most everybody on here. So yep. Other than that, I'm just gonna sit here and listen along. I don't usually stay right till the end because I gotta go to sleep early, but I will stay awake as long as I possibly can and enjoy as much as I can. So back to you, Chuck, and thanks for doing it.
Okay, very good, Tomas. Thank you so much for checking in. Oh, by the way, Arpad has made his way down to Texas, and apparently he made it just in time to watch the SpaceX flight take off. I forget exactly where it is in Texas there, but it's somewhere down there where there's probably a lot of room to shoot rockets up. A good place to be in Texas for that. There's lots of room. So thanks again, Tom, and appreciate it. Have a great rest of the week, my friend. All right, let's see who else is out there would like to check into our amateur radio exchange group. This is VA3CJZ.
Browns.
VE3ZJC.
All right, I copied that, Brownsville. Thanks, Mac. VE3ZJC, Jason, come on in.
Yeah, good evening, Chuck, and everybody else on frequency. And yeah, SpaceX is just outside of Brownsville, down in Boca Chica, down Texas, number 4, which is a game of dodging potholes. Because I did that run back in April, early April with the missus. Went out to see SpaceX and almost ended up in the back of a state trooper vehicle because, yeah, some stuff was going on and nobody was actually supposed to be there. Good times.
Yeah. I just watched a video of a crash on the, was it the 401? It was in my Facebook on this day, whatever, a couple of years ago. And this poor guy had broken down, and he was in the left shoulder lane, and somebody just rammed him. I mean, he hit him so hard that he got ejected out of the car standing up. Don't ask me. I wasn't able to slow-mo it, but that was crazy. No brakes, no nothing, just plowed in at 100 whatever kilometers an hour. So yeah, you got to pay attention.
Oh, don't even get me going on people on the local highways not paying attention. I see it every day. We're going to the office and coming home. It's just ridiculous. Anyway, sir, I don't have any traffic for you. It was a busy day with work, and then dinner, and then some other stuff, and now I'm here. So I will send it back to you. Hopefully get some more check-ins there, and I should be here for the duration.
Okay, very good, Jason. Thank you. And by the way, Mac, thanks for that info on the launch for SpaceX in Brownsville. And there's something else I wanted to mention to you there. Now I've just forgot it. Give me a minute; it'll come back. All right, let's see who else is out there would like to check in. This is VA3CJZ. Please come now. Oh yeah, that's right. Chris had a short net tonight. The live check-ins were, I think, 1 or 2, and that was it. So yeah, he said, I thought the rain would have brought people indoors towards their radio, but guess not. Maybe the television is getting their attention. Who knows? All right, one more call out. This is VA3CJZ with the weekly Amateur Radio Exchange Group. My name is Chuck, and I'm located here in East Hamilton. I'm running a Yaesu 857 with a Diamond X 200, roughly 38 feet from the ground, and located by the Center Mall, just east of downtown. Do we have any check-ins? Please come now.
B3RWJ.
Oh, your ears must have been burning there, Chris. I was just mentioning your net. Come on in.
Yeah, I was checking out the chat too and YouTube channel. Thanks for doing the net and streaming it. My net, yeah, we had 16 check-ins. 19 check-ins in 16 minutes, and that's with all those announcements I read out. So it was an unusual one. Previous week we had 29, so it varies, I guess. Anyway, I don't have much else to report. I've got some samosas to go eat. Gonna eat some East Indian snack food. Back to you, VA3CJZ, B3RWJ.
All right. Sounds good there, Chris. I heard you mentioning earlier you liked Thai food. I'm not sure if I've ever had Thai food, but I've had, I think, Korean and, of course, Japanese and Chinese. But yeah, it's always nice to try other uh, ethnic dishes for sure, as long as their cooking practices are not scary. I've seen some videos of how people cook things, and I saw a giant wok. Like I'm talking, it probably held 45 gallons of liquid in it. And apparently, this woman has been cooking the same goulash or soup or whatever she was making in there for like 12 years or whatever. Never once emptied it, cleaned it. Always the same, just adding to it type thing. And of course, serving from it and then adding more to it. I don't know. That's, yeah, I don't know if I'd eat from that.
Yeah, is that risky or really delicious? I don't know. Um, yeah, I like trying different things. I'm not really a sushi fan. Lately, I've been enjoying pho. Everyone says pho, but apparently it's pho, Pho, the Vietnamese soup. I love that stuff. I always add hot sauce to it. Anyway, so much good food around. I remember I grew up in Brantford 30 years ago, and we thought chicken balls and red sauce and rice was exotic back then. We didn't have all this great food from all over.
Yeah, exactly. I know we have, they in Toronto they have Little Italy. We've got a little bit of everything here. There's an area downtown that's Vietnamese there. I used to get chicken carcasses for my dog. Someone said he was feeding his dog chicken carcasses, and I'm going, what? Bone in, everything. He says, yeah, the trick is not to cook those bones. They're easier to break down and swallow for a dog if they're raw. So, sure enough, I went and bought a case of chicken uh, skeletons, I guess, and they leave the fat on there and all that stuff, and of course, there's a little bit of meat, but the carcasses, yeah. So I tried that, and I got that off of York Street downtown there, just before Dundurn. So yeah, there's all kinds of different cuisines in town here now. Anyhow, Chris, thank you so much for checking in, and enjoy however long you stay.
Yep, we're going to listen to the stream. 73V3RWJ.
Okay, very good. So we'll clear with Chris, and let's see who else is out there would like to join us here on the weekly Amateur Radio Exchange Group. This is Victor Alpha 3 Charlie Juliet Zulu. All right, I didn't even check the contests, but I do know there's only one, and it's a CW one. So I'll pull it up here on contestcalendar.com and come up with it. It's a 2-day event, the CQ Worldwide DX contest, but this time it's for CW. A few weeks ago it was for sideband. Now it's CW. So I'm pretty sure anybody trying to do FT8 might run in some issues on the weekend with don't they share roughly the same band areas for CW as they do for FT8? Does anyone have an answer for that?
I don't think it does there, Chuck, VA3BT.
Oh, so they don't clash then? That's good.
I have heard it the odd time here and there, but no.
Okay. Well, interestingly enough, I watched a video with Bob Heil and Joe Walsh today. And it's Joe Walsh's birthday today. And anyways, they were talking about how AM was allocated to the 80 meter portion of 3.87, I think it was. to 3.89, and that was just AM. So that was pretty interesting. There's actually a lot of videos. Bob Heil worked with Joe Walsh. I'm not sure if he went on tour with him, but he might have. And Joe Walsh actually built some radio equipment, and yeah, he's right into it. I'll put up a picture of him on the YouTube stream here. I do have actually, I've got a picture with 4 people with their call signs up, and Joe Walsh from the Eagles, WB6 Alpha Charlie United. WB6 ACU is Joe Walsh, so you can check him out. And I didn't know Donny Osmond. Donny Osmond's call sign is WD4SKT, and the founder of Sony, Akio Morita, is JP1 Delta Papa Japan, and the other person in the photo is Patty Loveless, a country music singer, and her call is KD4WUJ. So it's up on the YouTube stream there if anybody wants to check that out. And I didn't know Joe Walsh was such a big radio. You know, some celebrities, get into ham, but not too heavy, right? I know apparently Walter Cronkite got his call sign because he wanted to be able to talk to people while he was on his yacht after he retired from doing the news there, going around on his yacht and talking on his ham radio. I'm not sure what Walter's call sign is, but I'm sure it's easy to find. All right. Does anyone have any announcements they'd like to make? Please come now. All right. So I think we're going to start some audience participation with a little trivia to kick things off, unless we have any check-ins for tonight's AREG Net. This is VA3 CJZ.
V3 Bravo Kilowatt.
And there's VE3 Bravo Kilowatt. Sounding good. Rick, come on in.
Yeah, I've been listening along, and anyway, there's quite a few famous people that have had their call sign, and usually when they get on the air, they don't admit that, because I've actually talked to a couple of them, they don't usually admit who they really are, but, anyway, it's quite more extensive in the States, I think, than here. Like famous people being AM radio operators. Anyway, hello to everybody on the net, and I've been listening along right from the beginning, but I thought I'd check it now. So back to you, Chuck. You're doing a great job. Thanks for doing that.
Thanks, Rick. Very good then, and thank you for checking in. I'm noticing here on the YouTube, Brian, who just got his license, I think he's in Oakville, was mentioning that they had the ARRL sweepstakes contest. I didn't like the exchange. That's one of the contests. I'm really not keen on the exchange there, so I did not participate. How about you there, Rick?
Oh, which one was that? You caught me dreaming there.
Yeah, no problem. The ARRL sweepstakes we just had this past weekend. What do you think of the exchange you have to do for that?
Okay, I didn't participate this weekend. What was the exchange? Is that the one where they give the power status and your name and all that good stuff?
I'm not exactly sure. All I know is it's the ARRL sweepstakes contest. And when I was listening to Exchange, I was like, no, I'm not interested. Goodbye.
Yeah, that's exactly right. Every contest, well, that's what I keep saying too. When I announce contests, everyone is different. Make sure you read the rules because you want to know what the exchange is before you get in there. And some of them are quite extensive where, you give how long you've been a ham or what year you became a ham, your first name, their call sign, your call sign, uh, you know, everything. How much power you're running. Oh yeah, and then you exchange. There's another one that you exchange all the information. You collect 10 contacts, and then you exchange them with somebody else. So you're actually passing traffic, and you get scored on that as well. So there's all kinds of contests, and some of them I just quit doing because same as you. There's too much stuff involved with the contact, the queue, so they exchange. So yeah, we'll do another contest instead. VA3 CJZ V3 BK.
All right, Rick. Yeah, yeah. It's just a turnoff for me personally. So, there are plenty others that'll be coming up. So, listen, if you're happening to look at the YouTube stream, I just posted a contest site in Hungary that I made contact with. And the call sign is Hotel Alpha 3 Kilo November Alpha. And there's a whole whack of towers and a lot of forest around this one house. But this is in Hungary, and they look like they're at elevation. Perfect area for a contest site there. Rick, do you have your YouTube stream up?
I was just gonna put it up now. I didn't put it up. I just been listening to you on the radio because I've been doing some moving around here in the shack. Moving stuff around. I bought a new printer. My other printer pretty well sacked out, so I'm making room for it there. Over.
Ah, yes, very good. Geez, I remember when my printer would run out of ink, I would just buy another printer. That's how stupid crazy the prices of ink were. You could pick up a $25 printer that worked great, and you could actually either maybe take the same, if it had the same cartridge, you could steal it and put it in your printer and just leave the printer there, brand new, for $25. Meanwhile, they want like $60 for ink. Crazy. Anyways, all right. Good luck with that. And let's see. Anybody else out there waiting in the bushes would like to check in with us here on the AREG net? This is Victor Alpha 3, Charlie Juliet Zulu.
Victor Echo 3, Kilo Charlie India.
Oh my goodness, I hear Victor Echo 3, Kilo Charlie India. I think that's Art. Come on in, Art.
How you doing there, Chuck? Just had a rough night tonight. Chair broke down. Right here, right off the main track. So pretty hard to get around.
Yeah, I'm sorry to hear that, Art. You got another breakdown. Um, so what? Does someone come to look at it, or you got to take it in, or how's that going to work?
Well, I'm gonna have to call him up and find out about this hard to clean away labor rent. That's sure great off. Maintain. So yeah, so I don't know what's gonna cost me. I'm gonna find out the other one too at the same time. That chair's already 10 years old, so yeah,
Yeah. Well, if the cost is going to be too high, maybe something to look at is getting another refurbished one or getting something else there. So make sure you weigh all your options and try not to get soaked in the end there, if you know what I mean.
I know what you mean, because right now shares of money is going for 10,000.
Yeah, that's crazy. It's probably, if it wasn't considered a medical device, it would probably be a third of that price there, Art.
Yeah, I know what you mean. I got money put away for what some other last year used to be for medical funds for share.
Okay, Art. Well, you're coming in with a little bit of noise tonight, but I can hear you, so that's great. Which radio are you on?
I'm on the icon.
Copy that on the ICOM. All right. Well, I don't know when's the last time you spoke to Rick, but I think it's been a while, and Rick is waiting in the wings. If you want to say hi there, Rick, VE3BK, are you still there?
Oh, roger that. V3KCI, how are you doing there? And did you ever get your TV working again?
Yeah, my TV works fine. It's the wheelchair that broke down. I went to go do one of my Fligway lake rats and it teared right off.
Oh, yeah, that's always a problem. Well, yeah, by last time I talked to you, something to do with the TV wasn't working. You had no TV at all. And the guy wasn't going to come back or something. Anyway, no, I just wondered if you got that all sorted out. You had to call somebody, I think.
I got it all straightened out through and with flipping error on his part, so I didn't know if he...
Oh, that's good. Well, it didn't cost you anything? Is that what you said?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's just you feel lonely without any television, you know?
Okay. Okay, well, that's good to hear anyway. So, at least you got some entertainment there, at least. But getting that chair fixed, that'll be a priority, I guess, if you can't go anywhere. Well, it's raining out anyway. You wouldn't want to be up there getting in the rain anyway.
Yeah, I know. I canceled my ride for tonight because I left my sister's house up north and they were in the rain up there too, so yeah. It's no fun anywhere. Yeah, as long as I get my chair working, my kindly consider, well, I'll be looking forward to that too.
Yeah, roger on that. Yeah, for sure. Okay, anyway, we better not hold it up. And, Chuck is hearing you fine. You're coming in full scale down here where I am. And you always come in good anyway. But that 7100, is that what you're on?
Yes, sir. That's the one I'm running. Does it sound a lot better than the other radio?
Yeah, roger that. Yeah, that sounds really good. Okay, well, we better turn back to Chuck and good. Well, get that thing fixed there. You can't go anywhere much without it. Okay, 73 for now. We'll just be listening here on Chuck's Net. And so you take care of V3KCI, V3BK, and turn back to VA3CJZ.
Okay, very good, Rick. So got a chance to chat with Art there. And thanks, Art, for checking in, my friend. And are you going to listen along for a little bit?
I'm going to try. We usually sleep by about 9:30, 10 o'clock, so that's close.
All right. Well, listen, just break in when you're ready to say goodnight, and we'll say 7-3 there. Roger? Okay, so we'll clear with VE3 Kilo Charlie India and see who else is out there waiting in the bushes that would like to check in. This is VA3 CJZ.
VE3 LBI.
Right on time there, Larry. VE3 LBI, come on in.
Thanks, Chuck. Yeah, I didn't want to upset Mac there being late, so that was quite the storm that came through.
He's 10 minutes early.
Yeah. Oh, 7 minutes early. Yeah. No, yeah, it came down pretty good here. Didn't hear any boomers, but um, damn, I'm going to have to cut my grass before Christmas.
Yeah, just decorated.
Yeah, throw tinsel all over my lawn. Freak everybody out.
Sure, why not? Anyways, no, you had the grandson here today. He's got a terrible cough. No cold, no fever, nothing. Just terrible, terrible cough. So he's going to the doctor tomorrow to see what's going on.
Oh, a little bit of bronchitis there.
We're not sure. He had it before and then left, and then he's got it back again. But they don't like it in school because they don't know whether it's contagious. But I don't think it is. It's just a cough he's got. So, anyways, he's heading out there tomorrow, and then he'll find out what's going on in the doc's office.
All right. Well, hopefully it's nothing serious there. And, kids go through that cycle once, every year at least, once they start back in September. So it's not out of the ordinary, but hopefully everything turns out well. And anything new with you there, Larry?
Nope, I can't think of anything, Chuck. Normal day-by-day stuff. We'll run around with him today, so he's full of energy, so it's not as if he's sick. But anyways, okay, I'll pass it back to you and carry on. Thanks very much for picking me up. VE3LBI.
Okay, very good, Larry. Thank you so much. And so we'll clear with VE3LBI. And nice to see everybody using the chat on the YouTube stream. For those of you just tuning in, I do stream the net on YouTube. And you can chat there freely. Just put in my call in the YouTube search. Again, that's VA3CJZ. And tonight we'll be under the title AREG Week 1624. This is 1,600. Oh, sorry. It'll be AREG Week 1627. I'm sorry. 1,627 weeks that AREG has been on the air consecutively here in Hamilton. All right. Anyone else wishing to check in before we start the trivia portion of the net? This is VA3CJZ. Please come now. Okay, Wade is saying his radio's on battery power, so he'll lose the YouTube stream but still be on the air. Okay, very good. All right, very good, Wade. Okay, so let's go and find a little bit of trivia so everyone can participate. And where is it? General knowledge trivia, 275 trivia questions. All right, I think I've asked this first one before, but hey, you know what? Let me start off with something radio related here. I've got it written down actually. So let's say you want to make your own antenna. You want to make a wire antenna, and let's say you want to cut a length of wire for a 40-meter wire antenna, however it is, an end-fed or whatever. So how do you find the length of the wire that you need to cut? How do you get, let's say, 7.200, which is 40 meters, right in the middle of the band? What would you do to, what's the formula to find the length of that length of the wire there? Does anybody know?
468 divided by the frequency.
Absolutely correct there. Both you and Wade. I knew you guys would both jump in there and answer that, and that's correct. For example, if you wanted to get to 7.200, you would take 468 divided by 7.2, and the answer would be 65 feet. And so, and that's what you do for whichever portion of the band that you want to get as close to a flat match. And there you go. A little bit of radio-related question there. So let's move on to the next one. What is the only planet in our solar system to rotate clockwise on its axis? What's the only planet that rotates clockwise? Remember that song, Venus? She's got it, baby. The answer is Venus. Yeah. It's not Uranus there, Wade. Okay. So, next question. Which freezes faster, hot or cold water?
Hot water. It dissipates BTUs much quicker.
Hot water.
Oh, I'm surprised you guys knew that. And the answer is thanks to the m.ame effect, and that's spelled M-P-E-M-B-A, the m.ame effect, hot water freezes faster. All right, here's an easy one. Jim Henson is a creator of what beloved cast of characters? Wow, he's fast. And the answer is the Muppets. That's right, Wade. Okay, weighing around 8 pounds. This is the human body's largest organ. Weighing around 8 pounds. This is the human body's largest organ.
The epidermis.
I'd like to know who they skinned and weighed the skin to come up with 8 pounds. It's kind of gruesome.
I can tell you a few people that they didn't, and they would tip the scales in the other direction.
Oh dear, oh dear. And Noel is making a comment here about the water, and he says he thought it had something to do with the abnormally lower density of ice.
It actually has more to do with the molecular separation of water at temperature. So yes, because the hot water takes up more space, and it actually has more surface area.
Wow. Okay, Dr. Mack, thank you very much. All right, how many states does the Appalachian Trail cross? How many states?
I think it's 7.
I'd like to double down. It is 14. The answer is 14. All right, listen, what do you call a group of flamingos?
Not much.
Oh, the answer is a flamboyance. That is a group of flamingos, a flamboyance. All right, relative to the internet, what does URL stand for? You know, when people talk about a URL, what is that? And yeah, those are long words to type there, Wade. That's correct. The Universal Resource Locator. That's a URL. What's the distance from Earth to the Sun, roughly? Anybody got an idea? The distance in miles, or you could use kilometers.
That would be half the diameter of our orbit.
Listen, I know I got a big waist, but come on. The answer is 93 million miles, or for Larry, that's 150 million kilometers. Oops, or is that the other way around? Okay, what sport is featured on the first curved United States coin in 2014?
Baseball.
Yeah, Mac got it right. It's baseball. All right, M&M's Fruit Chews would eventually become what popular candy? M&M came up with Fruit Chews, but they changed the name. Do you know?
W.
Starburst candy. Yeah, they came out around the same time as the Skittles did there, Wade. Good answer. But it's Starburst. All right, I'm looking for ones that I want to pick here. What guitarist notably performed on the Michael Jackson song Beat It? That would be Eddie Van Halen. Eddie Van Halen played on the Beat It song for Michael Jackson. He didn't want billing on it, I think, either. Which branch of the U.S. Armed Forces used the slogan, "It's not just a job, it's an adventure"? In the Navy. The answer is Navy. That was what it was there. Sorry, Wade. Hey, this is, again, a lot of these are for the U.S., but I'd like to know what the Canadian one is here. But by U.S. law, exit signs must be one of what two colors?
Green or red? Green.
That is correct. I'm surprised you knew that. That's good. Red and green. The red green show. No, that's different. Okay. When was the first Earth Day celebrated? Anyone remember? It was a while ago. When was the first Earth Day? (1970) was the first one.
Yeah, the year I was born. VA3BT.
Oh, there we go. Very good. I'll have to remember that. Albert, who is Barbie's little sister? I never knew she had a little sister because I didn't play with Barbies.
She was adopted.
Yeah. No, I waited till I grew up before playing with Barbie, but it wasn't at all. Anyways, the answer is Skipper. Skipper is Barbie's little sister. Huh. Oh no. Any Swifty fans out there? These are music and movies questions next year. What was Taylor Swift's first song to chart on the Billboard Hot 100? First Taylor Swift song to chart. Anyone?
Who cares?
Sound of one hand clapping.
Yeah, I know. It was lame. All right. Tim McGraw is the answer. Weird name for a song. Let me find a different one here. Give me a moment. All right, I'm going to pull up another one here. Ooh, Paul. What city hosted the 2014 Winter Olympics?
Seoul.
Sochi, Russia. What is the longest running Broadway show? Actually, Mike, MEU, asked me this a while ago. What's the longest running Broadway show?
The opera.
Yeah, there's some good answers out there on the YouTube stream there. We've got Cats, Love Story, and of course, the answer is The Phantom of the Opera, which finally closed in April of 2023 after a record 13,981 performances. Wow. What's the name for a group of crows?
I want to say murder, but it's not murder. Martyr?
No, you're right. It is a murder. A murder of crows. That's crazy. They got some weird names for animal groups. All right. What's the longest above water mountain range? The longest mountain range. Well, the answer is the Andes. The Andes in South America. How many bones do sharks have?
Absolutely none.
Absolutely right. Okay. Let's see. Yeah, what's the deadliest animal in the world? We just did that one. The mosquito. The mosquito can wipe out entire populations. The mosquito is the deadliest animal in the world. Okay, I think we did these ones. Let me see if I can find where we left off here.
You got to bookmark these.
I do, but I got to scroll down and find it. There you go. There's one. Oh, I did that one already. Well, these are long. Some of these have hundreds of questions, so it takes me a bit to scroll down to where we were.
It's bad when you get old age and you can't remember, eh?
Yeah, that's it.
Scrolling with his cane instead of his mouse.
It's pretty bad when all of them get silent treatment, eh?
Was it?
All right. So I'll be a little bit more organized there next week, but for now, let's just go on this day. And it'll be on this day, week 195. And we start off with today's famous birthdays. And the first one I have on my list is a Canadian. And his name is Wilfrid Laurier. Born on this day in 1841, he was the 7th Prime Minister of Canada. Born in Saint Lin, Quebec. All right, this next one's pretty interesting. The year is 1848, and the gentleman is James Murray Spangler. He was an American inventor of the portable vacuum cleaner that would become the Hoover. And he was born in Pennsylvania, died in 1915. But the funny thing is that James Murray Spangler invented the vacuum, but William Hoover bought the patent and renamed the company Hoover. All right, next, born on this day is Edwin Hubble. Got a space telescope named after him, and he was born on this day in 1889. An American astronomer and the discoverer of galaxies and the red shift, which is what all these space telescopes use now, mostly. First and mostly is the red shift. And so that's how they can tell if there's a planet or whatever it is they're looking at. Next, born in 1892 on this day is James Collip, Collip, Canadian biochemist and physiologist who isolated insulin. So I'd like to thank this gentleman for being born because I use insulin. And he was born in Belleville, Ontario. Died in 1965. Hey, who remembers the Dick Tracy Saturday morning comic strip? Dick Tracy in the Saturday papers. He was the person who drew, the cartoonist was Chester Gould, Gould, born on this day in 1900 in Oklahoma. Died in 1985. Now, remember the Kukla, Fran, and Ollie TV show? Well, born on this day is Fran from Kukla, Fran, and Ollie. Fran Allison, born on this day, 1907. Born in Iowa, and she passed away in 1989. Robert Kennedy, Robert F. Kennedy, born on this day, 1925. We all know who he is. Born in Massachusetts, like the rest of them. And he was assassinated in 1968. All right, now, who remembers the Smothers Brothers? Dick Smothers was born on this day in 1939. He's an American comedian and folk singer. He was part of the Smothers Brothers show. Born in New York. That was right around the time Laugh-In, I think, came out. Early 70s, late 60s. All right, next we've got Bob Einstein, born in 1942. He was an American comedian, and he is also known as Super Dave Osborne. You remember that guy on TV? Born in LA, California. He died in 2019. Super Dave, he was funny. All right, now it's Joe Biden's birthday today. He turns 82. He was born in Scranton, Pennsylvania. Next, in 1946, Dwayne Allman was born. The youngest of the, maybe not the youngest, but he was one of the Allman brothers, band members, born in Nashville, Tennessee. He died in 1971, very young. And as I mentioned earlier, Joe Walsh, WB6 ACU, born on this day in 1947. They have him here as an American rock guitarist, singer, songwriter. They name the song "Life's Been Good," "Rocky Mountain Way," with the Eagles in the city. And he was a veterans advocate, born in Wichita, Kansas. Oh, also on this day, December 20th, on this day in music history, December 20th. I'm off by a month. 1974, Joe Walsh joined the Eagles. Next, with the birthday, is Bo Derek, born in 1956. Her real name is Mary Collins. You remember Bo Derek from the movie 10 and the movie Tarzan the Ape Man, born in Long Beach, California. And last on my list with a birthday today is Mike D., also known as Mike Diamond, born in 1965. He's an American rap vocalist with the Beastie Boys. You gotta fight for your right to party, born in New York City. That's it for birthdays. Do we have any questions, comments, or anyone that would like to check into our weekly AREG net? Please come now. This is VA3CJZ. All right. Next, who died today in history? Sadly, I can only find one man of note, and his name is Tom Horn. Born in 1860, died on this day in 1903. He was an American gunfighter and outlaw who was hanged to death at the age of 42 for killing a 14-year-old. He was an American scout, cowboy, soldier, range detective, and a Pinkerton agent. Believed to have committed 17 killings as a hired gunman throughout the West. Horn was convicted in 1902 of the murder of 14-year-old Willie Nickel near Iron Mountain, Wyoming. And since we only have one person on my list, I've come up with a list of people who have passed away this year. Now, I'm not going to do all of them, as there are still about 5 weeks left in the year. I'm going to do January and February. So, famous people who died in 2024. We'll start with January 4th. We lost Starsky or Hutch. David Soul. His real name is Solberg, American-British actor with Starsky and Hutch and Here Comes the Brides. And he was a singer. You might remember the song Don't Give Up on Us. Dies at the age of 80. I didn't realize he was that old. So that was January 4th. Who remembers the song Leader of the Pack? Well, on January 19, Mary Weiss, Weiss, American pop singer with the Shangri-Las. With that song, Leader of the Pack, she dies at the age of 75. January 25th, Kenneth Smith, American convicted murderer, first person to be executed using nitrogen gas in Alabama. He was 58. Carl Weathers died this year on February 1st. American football player and actor. He was in the Rocky films 1 through 4, and he's also in the Mandalorian series. Dies at the age of 76. Next, the Russian Alexei Navalny died this year, February 16th. He was a guy trying to take Putin's place, a Russian political activist and opposition leader of the Progress Party. And of course, he was imprisoned by Putin, where he rotted and died in prison at the age of 47 this past February. Next, we've got Jacob Rothschild, passing away February 26th of this year. If you don't know, the Rothschild family are probably the world's wealthiest people, and they have a lot of power, or so it's been said, that they control the world. The family of Rothschild started off by opening banks throughout the world, mostly in Europe. The one in Europe was in Germany, I believe. Anyway, he was a British peer investment banker and member of the Rothschild banking family. Dies at the age of 87. Last person on my list who died this year so far is Brian Mulroney. Brian Mulroney passed away on February 29th, and he was the 18th Prime Minister of Canada. He was 84. That's it for people dying this year. Do we have any questions or comments or check-ins? Please come now. This is VA3 CJZ. All right, let's move on to historical events. We'll start off with the year 1521, and we have the Arabs. They attribute the shortage of water in Jerusalem to the Jews making wine, using up all the water. 1820, on this day, whaling ship Essex is attacked and sunk by a sperm whale in the southern Pacific. Only 8 of the 20 crewmen eventually survive through cannibalism, no doubt. And that was the inspiration for the book Moby Dick. Next, we have Sherlock Holmes' first story in 1886, A Study in Scarlet, it was called, is accepted by publisher Ward and Locke with a payment of 25 British pounds. I wonder how much 25 pounds in 1886 would be worth today. Well, here's a gentleman a lot of people probably hate, and he's the inventor of the time card clock. Willard Bundy, on this day in 1888, patents the time card clock. Next, we have the creation of the Tour de France. In 1902, Gio Lefebvre and Henri Desgrange create the Tour de France bicycle race. So created by 2 Frenchmen. And in 1914, the United States State Department starts requiring photographs for passports. So just imagine, before 1914, you could show up, put any name on a passport you wanted, and be that person. No photo ID. All right, 1917 now. At the peak of the First World War, The first successful use of a tank in battle at the Battle of Cambrai in World War I, as Britain uses the new technology to break through German lines. Then in 1923, American inventor Garrett Morgan patents his traffic signal design, adding a caution between stop and go, an important development in automobile safety. 1928, the Boston Gardens opens, and the Montreal Canadiens beat the Boston Bruins 1-0. Yay. 1931, the commercial teletype service begins, and that is done with AT&T. Next, Rolls buys Bentley. In 1931, Rolls-Royce acquisition of Bentley Motors is announced. 1935, Toronto Maple Leafs left wing Busher, B-U-S-H-E-R, Busher Jackson becomes the first NHL player to score four goals in a period in a 5-2 win over St. Louis Eagles at St. Louis Arena. That was the first and probably the last time the Maple Leafs ever did something like that. All right, 1942 now, during World War II, the Alaska Highway, which is 2,451 kilometers long, from Dawson Creek, British Columbia, to Fairbanks, Alaska, first opens to military traffic. Let's jump ahead to after the war. In 1945, the Nuremberg war trials begin as 24 Nazi leaders are put on trial before judges representing the victorious Allied powers. Whole whack of them got away and reached, Argentina, I heard. Nice hangout for the Nazis. All right, in 1948 now, we have a United States balloon reaches a height of 42.7 kilometers, or for Larry, 26 miles. And that was a record. In 1953, Scott Crossfield in a Douglas Skyrocket is the first to break Mach 2, and that's 1,300 miles per hour. The Muppets begin. In 1958, on this day, American puppeteers Jim and Jane Henson establish Muppets, Inc., now known as the Jim Henson Company. Next, we have the person who put rock and roll on the map, and the fact that we can hear it on the radio because of him. In 1959, WABC fires Alan Freed over his refusal to swear innocence in payola scandal. The payola scandal involved accepting bribes from record companies. A lot of record companies would try and get their records on the air. And it's still done to this day. They still do these deals in order to get more playtime on the radio. To this day, I'm sure. All right, on this day in 1966, NFL team Dallas Cowboys sacks the Pittsburgh quarterbacks an NFL record 12 times during one game. A year later, in 1967, at 11 a.m., the census clock at the Department of Commerce ticks past 200 million. people, that is. And today, I looked it up, 342 million. And then in 1975, Ronald Reagan announces candidacy for Republican nomination for U.S. president. Remember, Ronald Reagan was a TV star before he was president. All right, in 1976, George Harrison appears on Saturday Night Live with Lorne Michaels performing Here Comes the Sun and Homeward Bound with Paul Simon and airing 2 music videos. This is back in 1976. If I'm not mistaken, Saturday Night Live opened in 75. In 1977, the Hall of Fame, Steve Largent begins his NFL streak of 177 consecutive game receptions. That's a lot. All right, another story about Saturday Night Live. In 1982, a 7-year-old Drew Barrymore hosts Saturday Night Live back in 1982. Hey, remember when you used to see every time you drive by a McDonald's, they would show the amount of hamburgers that they'd sell? Remember that? Well, on this day in 1984, McDonald's makes its 50 billionth hamburger. I remember when I was a kid, and I remember when they reached 1 million, but I was just a little guy. So this was in 1984. McDonald's makes its 50 billionth burger. And in 1984, the SETI Institute is founded. SETI stands for Search for Extraterrestrial Intelligence. And a year later, in 1985, Microsoft Windows 1.0 is released. Ooh. And in 1990, Saddam Hussein announces plans to release German hostages. I didn't know he had German hostages. Anyways, I was curious about that, and I've heard a lot of dictators in the world were on the CIA payroll. So I asked Google if Saddam Hussein was on the U.S. payroll. And the answer is yes. Saddam Hussein was paid by the CIA. In 1959, evidence suggests that Saddam was on the CIA payroll as early as 1959 when he participated in a failed assassination attempt. Muammar Gaddafi was another CIA guy, and there were plenty others. It goes on here to say in the 1980s, the U.S. provided Saddam with money, arms, satellite intelligence, and chemical and bioweapon precursors during the Iran-Iraq War. The U.S. also supported Saddam politically and with military assistance. Very interesting. In 1995, Diana, Princess of Wales, admits she cheated on Prince Charles in a TV interview, and she was divorced a year later after a 15-year marriage. All right, the next caption is Eric Lindros bites. In 1997, Philadelphia Flyers' Eric Lindros tries to bite San Jose Sharks defenseman Marty McSorley. You guys remember that?
Yeah, the P was a hit.
All right. In 2012, Toshiba unveils a robot designed to help in nuclear disasters. Yay, Toshiba. I thought they only made stereos. Next, we've got Obama's immigration changes. If you think immigration was bad, uh, back before Obama was president, George Bush wanted to uh, deport 5 million illegal migrants. So in 2014, just 10 years ago, nearly 5 million illegal migrants in the U.S. have the threat of deportation deferred after President Obama announces sweeping immigration changes. In other words, he's the first one to open up the doors for migrants, that is. All right, in 2019, Britain's Prince Andrew announces he is stepping back from public duties after outcry from disastrous interview on his friendship with Jeffrey Epstein. He was a frequent flyer on the Epstein love plane. And so it wasn't Prince Andrew's choice. Let me tell you, he was told by the Queen, you are no longer doing public duties. All right, and also another story in 2019, it says here that snakes lived with hind legs for 70 million years. According to research from some I can't even say it. It was published in Science Advances book or magazine. All right, two more to go. In 2022, Disney announces Bob Iger's return as chief executive, less than a year after he retired from the company. They must have offered him a lot of money. And finally, in 2022, New York State activates the National Guard to assist with historic snow event around Buffalo, with Orchard Park area receiving almost 6 1/5 of a foot. So 6 feet in Buffalo. That was 2 years ago on this day. So that's it for my list of on this day. I hope you all enjoyed it as much as I did, researching it and repeating it back to you. And with that, do we have any questions or comments or any check-ins for the AREG net? Please come now. This is VA3 CJZ. All right. Flynn checked in earlier. Let's see if he's still around. VE3FJJ. Let's see how Rick is doing. VA3AXJ.
Yeah, it's pumpkin time, I think. Got a lot to do tomorrow. Got a busy day. Yeah, not looking forward to it, but got to get it done, get it over with, and then I can relax for the rest of the week. What's left of it. Good night, Chuck. As always. So I'll say 7-3, but I'll be here for the duration. Yeah. Enjoy the Wednesday night hump night there. That's about it for me. So 7-3s.
All right, Rick. Well, thanks for sticking around and being part of the festivities. I try to get going here on Wednesday nights. I'm glad we were able to entertain you for a little while. And so we'll talk to you again real soon, my friend. Take care. And so we'll clear with you and say hello to Debbie, VA3OYL.
Yeah, a very good net. I didn't even go for a snack yet. So I guess I'll say 7-3 to everyone, and everybody have a good week. And I'm going for a snack. 7-3, VA3 OYL.
All right, Debbie, you got the right idea. I think I'm going to be going for a snack too. Uh, and get something for my throat to drink here. And very good. Thanks. I hope you were entertained. Thanks for being part of our net. And you enjoy the rest of the week. I look forward to seeing your posts on YouTube and talking to you again. All right, let's go to Mac, VA3 IMW73 round. Mac.
Well, it sounds like pumpkin time is getting popular. 10 o'clock, that's when we blow the candle out. Anyways, a great net as usual, Chuck. Certainly appreciate you doing it. Very entertaining. And yes, the trivia is a lot of fun. Obviously, there's only so many trivia questions that you can pull off the net. But obviously, sometimes we trip across something that's been heard before, but nonetheless, it's a lot of fun to keep the mind busy, and that is exactly what you do for us every Wednesday evening. Thanks again, Chuck, and don't forget to check in with us tomorrow night at 7 p.m. on 446.125 Lake Ontario Radio Club Net. Will be on Simplex tomorrow evening. Thanks again, VA3IMW, QRT.
Okay, Mac, thank you for that. And yes, I like to get people thinking a little bit, and it gives a little bit of a chance for audience participation. And like you said there, work the mind a little bit. And so sometimes, like I said there, I just ran into a little glitch there near the end, but it's all right. It was time to move over to On This Day anyways. Thanks, Mac, as always, for being part of the net. And we'll stop in tomorrow night at 7 o'clock. 7 o'clock on 446-125 Simplex. Thanks, Mac. Have a good one. Next, I believe, is Wade, VA3 NCA. Is your radio still working, or are your batteries dead?
VA3 CJZ, VA3 NCA. No, the power to the house survived. Lights were flickering, but the radio keeps going because it's on battery. So I have a little switch that keeps the batteries topped off, and when it loses power, it switches me over to the batteries so that I can keep the radio going. I might end up in the dark, which is not an unusual state, I suppose, for me sometimes, but I may end up with everything else around me off, but the radio, the important stuff, keeps going. But anyways, none of that was really necessary because it all held out for the duration tonight. So thanks again for doing it. It's always a great way to spend a Wednesday. Hopefully it is garbage night for you. It was garbage morning for me, so I got my stuff out already. Hopefully the weather doesn't make yours too sloppy, but I'll let you go get to it and get the rest of the folks down the line. Thanks again for doing it. 7-3 to you and 7-3 to all on net. V3NCA. Back to you, Chuck.
Okay there, Wade. I'm glad the power held off. And you always got that LifePo battery that you can hook up in an emergency there. So, there you go. Well, hopefully the power stays on. And yes, I had my garbage ready earlier, but it was pouring when I wanted to do it. So right now it looks pretty less rain, if there's any rain at all right now. So everything's still wet. So I'm assuming it's still raining a little bit, but we'll take it out nonetheless. Thanks, Wade. And again, if anybody is looking to get licensed or needs help getting licensed, maybe Wade can point you in the right direction. Again, Wade's call is VA3 November Charlie Alpha. And so you can get a hold of him through the QRZ page or through an email. Do you have an email you'd like to give out, Wade?
Sure, yeah. I'll throw it in the chat, but also testing at va3 dot. Sorry, I actually know my own address. Testing at va3n.ca. So testing at my call sign, but it's a .ca if you get what I mean. I'll throw it in the chat as well. Back to you there, Chuck.
Interesting call or address. I mean, was there someone else I just stepped on there? Okay, I thought I heard someone key up. All right, my next person is Noel. Noel checked in on YouTube. Thanks, Noel, along with everyone else. VE3KDT, thank you. And we had Wayne in Mississauga, VA3 Fox Mike Bravo, and our newly licensed ham, Brian, who checked in with us on YouTube. His new call is VE3XBW. Brian, I hope we can find you on QRZ with your info. You can go in there now and set up an account, and we can find you there. All right, next is Albert. If he's still awake, VA3 Bravo Tango.
Yeah, we're still here listening along there, Chuck. It was a good net. Thanks for doing it. Thanks for being there. Yeah, and that's pretty much on my end here. VA3VT73, everyone. Have a good night.
Okay, Albert, 7-3, and have a good night. Have a great rest of the week. We'll catch you on the weekend probably, or maybe on the drive home. I don't get up that early. Have a good one, Albert. All right, next is Steve on the portable. I don't know, he might not be available, but Victor Alpha 3, November Foxtrot Golf. Are you still around?
Yeah, we're still kicking around here, Chuck. Standing up here. Good net there, Chuck. Now, the part you touched on there about capital punishment, what was it? Nitrogen? So, what was the application there? Like, how does nitrogen kill somebody? Were they injecting it, or was it a mask? And you had no choice but to breathe the toxic gas.
Well, all it said was gas, nitrogen gas. So I'm assuming he inhaled it. So yeah, that was a new one. That was in Alabama. I'd never heard of that type of execution.
Yeah, me neither. That's why I thought, oh, what are they doing with that stuff? But anyways, it probably won't be the last method. Hopefully it is. But anyway, it's the Peruvial shreddies and strawberries time. So once again, good net there, Chuck. We'll be listening for you next Wednesday, and we'll probably hear you before then. So we'll say 7-3 to everybody, and we'll catch up with you next time. VA3 NFG.
All right, Steve. Remember, the French were still using the guillotine up until the early 20th century. I actually found a video on YouTube that shows the last guillotine execution, and boy, is it quick. As soon as the head gets chopped off, they roll the body off the platform into a casket, and then the head goes in there, and a guy in a horse-drawn carriage just drives off with the body. Zip, zam, boom, you're done. Okay, Steve, have a great rest of the week, my friend, and enjoy your cereal. Remember to keep your radio away. So we'll clear with VA3 NFG. How about Tomas? You still around? VE3 Charlie Echo Uniform. VE3 ZJC. VE3 RWJ. Chris, you still around? VE3 Bravo Kilowatt.
Oh yeah, I'm still around. Yeah. In fact, I was sitting here listening to the whole net pretty well, and I quit doing what I was doing there, getting ready for another printer. But anyway, tomorrow's another day. That's what you can say when you're retired there. So anyway, so enjoyed it, and I stopped what I was doing just to listen to your net there, Chuck. So is it all right if I make an announcement at this time?
Absolutely, Rick. I actually asked earlier if anyone had any announcements, but by all means, please do.
Yeah, I heard you ask, and I was doing something at the time. Anyway, yeah, well, everybody, don't forget the net on 7100 on Monday night at 8 p.m. And a lot of the guys that check in here on this net here at one time or another did check in when we were on 80 meters. So I know there's quite a few that are familiar, and Mac there, he always checks in too. So, okay, and the other announcement I got is everybody's welcome. The Hamilton Amateur Radio Club is actually going to have a meeting at St. Paul's United Church on Regina North, 43, I think, or 42, I'm not sure. Regina North, it's a church, and we meet in the basement there, and that's Thursday night on November 28th. And all hands are welcome. You don't have to be a club member just to come and see what goes on. And the meeting starts at 7:30. And there was a break for social visit, and the club provides a little treat there, some water or pop or a cookie or two for you as well. So everybody's welcome to that Hamilton Amateur Radio Club general meeting. And that's all I got there, Chuck. Good job. Good job. Like I said, I just sat here and listened to the whole thing, and sometimes I think I was daydreaming, like when you asked me that question about the contest. There's so many contests I've been in that, like, you got to check the rules for everyone. And the AREG sweepstakes, now some of them contests are pretty good. The North American sweepstakes is good, and there's a few that are good, but the ones where you're passing traffic and giving out a great big long exchange, like I think a lot of people are shying away from them these days. So anyway, so good job, Chuck, and we'll talk to you later. VA3 CJZ, V3 Bravo Kilowatt.
All right, Rick. Well, thanks a bunch. I'm glad you enjoyed it. And it's my pleasure to do the net as always. It's a blast. I have a ton of fun. It's a great way to spend a couple of hours. And for me, I have to do a little research on that and get everything ready. But all of that is all part of the fun there, Rick. So thanks again. And you are a wealth of knowledge when it comes to radio. And so, if you don't mind, if we have questions there to go ahead and ask you, sometimes you have little tricks and tips that others are unaware of. So that's always nice to have an old timer, an old timer on the radio.
Oh yeah, hey, I got one thing too. That 468 divided by the frequency in megahertz gives you feet only. And what wasn't clarified there was that it's a half wave that you're measuring half wave. So that's basically for a dipole. And so if you want to go in metric, you have to divide the 300,000, the speed of sound, or no, speed of light, I mean.
Yeah.
Speed of light divided by the frequency in megahertz, and that gives you in kilometer, or no, meters. So anyway, that's a good thing to look up, though. Look up dipole measurements or whatever, and most of that too. Also, your trivia, you could maybe throw in some of the stuff like a loop antenna. What's the calculation for that? Because it is different. And yeah, also like if you have stranded wire that's insulated, it's 6% shorter. So if you've got to put it in a small backyard, that's something to know. Anyway, there's lots of little tricks like that. So anyway, great job there, Chuck. VE3BK.
All right. See, I told you. Wealth of knowledge there, Rick. Thank you once again. Okay, so with that, let's see who's my next customer here. We've got Art, if he's still there. VE3 Kilo Charlie India. Art.
I'm still here. And, Mr. BK, going to say goodnight to you also. And, yeah, it was a good build there tonight. And, yeah, hopefully, if I'm not off to my other meeting or something like that, well, I'll be here on the radio too. Okay, I'll tell you, Chuck. All the best.
70.
Okay, Art, very good. Well, we're very happy to have you drop in and say hi. I know you do have other commitments at this time on Wednesdays, but next time you're available, please drop in. It's always a pleasure, my friend. And I hope you get that chair fixed without too much problems and soon, so you could get around there. Thanks, Art. So we'll clear with VE3 Kilo Charlie India. Next is Larry. VE3 LBI. 7-3 round, Larry.
Yep, still here, Chuck. Listen along. Yep. Okay, all the best, and thanks for doing it. 7-3, everybody. Take care. Have a good evening and a better day tomorrow.
All right, very good, Larry. Thank you so much, and we look forward to your net on the ZOE repeater this Friday at 8 p.m. And that's 443075. With a positive offset, no tone required at 8 p.m. on the ZOE repeater. All right, so before I wrap it up, are there any last-minute check-ins for this week's AREG Net? This is VA3CJZ.
Victor Alpha 3, Charlie Oscar Foxtrot.
Damien, I was just thinking about you tonight. I was wondering if you'd stop by and say hi again. Please, by all means, come on in. How are you?
Yeah, thanks for running the net, Chuck. Yeah, a very late check-in for me. I just got home. I had some mother-in-law duties I had to stop and deal with on the way home, and up early dropping my wife at the airport. So, yeah, just put my feet up on the couch and thought I'd give you a quick check-in. Not much else happening with me, over.
Okay, very good there, Damien. By the way, you've got a strong signal. You're full strength here and great audio. Normally, I think I hear you in the car.
Yeah, my little handheld, handy-talkie Yaesu is in at Radio World for the speaker stopped working in the handset, and warranty there is how long's a piece of string till you get it back. So I've just borrowed one of those cheap Chinese Quanchongs, and it seems to be doing pretty well. So much so that I put an order in on Amazon for one to arrive tomorrow. Over.
All right, very good, very good. I don't know if you're going to upgrade the firmware in there, but if you do, it's well worth it. It's well worth the effort. And basically, all you have to do is research on YouTube, and they'll show you step by step how to upgrade the firmware. and you get all kinds of extras that you won't with the stock firmware there. So, anyways, thanks again for checking in, Damien, and I hope your wife's trip goes well, and safe travels to her. And thanks again for checking in. Anything else?
No, that's fine. Yeah, the radio I've got has the upgraded firmware, and there's a few of us in the club there that have the software to program it and all that. So we'll get that done. Yeah, my wife's just over to Calgary for a week to visit with the daughter and granddaughters. So that'll be good for her to catch up over. 73.
Oh, okay. That's very nice. Very good then. Well, I hope everything goes well over in Calgary with the weather and everything. Things are a little crazy with the weather out west right now from what I've been seeing, but hopefully everything's okay. Thanks again, Damien. Have a great rest of the week, sir. Okay, anyone else? Well, this is the last call for the AREG net for November 20th, 2024. Please come now. All right, nothing heard. So with that, tonight we had 17 check-ins, along with the few that checked in on YouTube. I may have missed one or two people that may or may not have a call sign. The YouTube chat was quite active tonight. I like to see that. That's very nice. And so again, I streamed the net on YouTube. Just put in my call into the YouTube search box, and you can see all my videos there. And you can move the slider at the bottom of the video back and forth to wherever you like it. There is a clock on every camera screen. So with that, I'm going to say thanks again, one and all, for joining me for another edition of the AREG Net. And I look forward to seeing you again next week. Same bat time, same bat channel. And with that, I'll say 7-3, one and all. I will take a break and return shortly. Good night.
Quick question there, Chuck.
Yes, sir.
Well, you heard Art tonight, and I don't know whether you're up to his power or maybe it was because of the bad weather. Sometimes we had funny things happen when we were contesting. When we had bad weather, sometimes radio frequencies were really good.
Yeah, Art was coming in around S3, flickering S4, and I had a really low noise level. Mind you, when I started the net, I was seeing an S3 of noise floor, and so it died down, which it normally does, really. I've noticed the noise level drops down after 8 o'clock, so it was really nice being able to hear Art without a relay.
Yeah, me too. That's what I thought. That was great. Great that you heard him. Okay, I can't remember whether I told you on Monday night. I probably did. VA3TAC says he passes through Hamilton twice a week. I told him to listen to ZOE 443075. Also to maybe try us on 146 430. So anyway, just thought if I'm not around to answer him, if he does come through, maybe you will be. And but I've been monitoring 146 430. And I don't know what it is, but sometimes there's an awful noise comes through there. It almost sounds like somebody's using that frequency for some kind of digital or something. Have you heard that?
Yeah. Yes, I have. It is digital there, Rick. I don't know who it is, but your guess is as good as mine.
Yeah, well, it does matter. I just turned up my squelch all the way. So, but if Tom does come through, VA3TAC, if he does happen to drive through Hamilton, as long as somebody's there to say howdy to him, that'd be good. Okay, anyway, enjoyed the net. Thanks for that. And tomorrow's net for the Lake Ontario Club is 446 125. Am I right on that?
And that's it. Tomorrow at 7 p.m. And Mac will be the host for that. And what else did I want to say there? Yeah, Tom, VA3TAC, for sure. I usually monitor this frequency as well as the ZOE repeater throughout the day. So anyone who wants to say hello right here on the Simplex frequency, by all means. If there's no one on the repeater, you can find me here. So go right ahead. And so thanks, Rick. Much appreciated. Anything else?
No, I monitor them too, and sometimes I'm not near the shack, or I don't hear them, even though I got the radio on. So I don't have the radio so loud that you can hear it all through the house. Anyway, you know that one. Happy wife, happy life. Anyway, we'll talk to you later there, Chuck. B3BK.
All right, very good. Yeah, I'm going to step away for a few minutes and then I'll be back either here or the ZOE repeater. All right, Rick and everyone, thanks. Have a good night. VA3 CJZ. I'll be clear.